Everybody, and welcome to Manga Palette, the show where I, Pastissier Luna, here with my co-host.
Manga Chef Isaiah.
Yeah, watch and or talk or read about a thing and then talk about it. Yeah, I mean, we talk about things implicitly, but hey, whatever. What did you pick? Because I'm really surprised at this, that the theme continues.
Well, it was your choice this week.
No. You
I
threw it at me and I said sure.
I picked Knives Out.
Yeah, so don't say like I said, hey, let's do this. No, you were like, do you want to do this? And I said, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Knives Out. Fuck yeah, I love that movie. Fuck yeah, I love that movie. I love that movie so hard. Like, oh, goddamn. The second it was like going through trailers, it was like, ooh, this looks really fun. And then it comes out at the Toronto Film Festival, and everyone's like, holy shit, it's like a goofier Clue, if that's possible. And I'm like, how does that work? Clue was already goofy as fuck. Then it came out in theaters, and it took me like a month to see it. But damn, the fact that it's still in theaters as of the date of this recording says a lot to how well it's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And
shit
it's,
usually gets dropped
also
out of
new.
theaters. Yeah,
It's
super
also
new.
a new
That's
thing we're doing.
what I meant by keeping the theme going.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, it's doing so good, it's still in theaters, which is, like, not a thing that normally happens. You can tell how, like, great a movie's doing by how fast it leaves theaters and goes to DVD.
Yeah. Or pay-per-view.
Yeah, because they need to recoup that money.
Yeah.
Knives Out is still in theaters 2 months after the fact. Goddamn, good for you. All right, cool. Yeah, it came out in November 27th, 2019. So that was like 2 months ago. And its initial release date was in the Toronto Film Festival, International Film Festival, in September 7th. So like a month before that, month and a half, I guess. This movie is loaded with people. Holy shit. There's a lot of people in this movie. I'm not
Mhm.
going to name everybody, but there's some that I was like, hey, the fuck are you doing here? So I first want to go with the woman who impressed me the most throughout the whole movie, the female lead, Ana de Armas, who plays Marta Cabrera. Like, holy shit, she did really good in this movie. Just really good.
Mm-hmm.
The whole like vomiting thing, the whole really like the emotional moments where she's like crying, those are like really strong. She did great. Fucking felt super real. I like it. Good job.
Does she work on a lot of things?
She's been working since 2006, when she was like 18. She usually works in like Spain, like Spanish productions. She did like a Spanish TV drama for like 5-6 years. Her first American movie was in 2015, which is one I saw that I talk about sometimes. It's Knock Knock, the movie where Keanu Reeves like gets trapped in his house after having sex with girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a really weird movie. It's like
Okay.
it's like hard candy, except it's not about a pedophile. Like, it's weird. And I remember seeing her in that movie, which is why, like, when this movie came out and I got to go see it, I was like, why do I know her? She feels familiar. I'm like, oh, fuck, it's that really weird movie, Knock Knock. Holy shit. What? That's weird. And then she was in Blade Runner 2049 and a bunch of other movies. She's going to be in the new James Bond movie, No Time to Die. Speaking of James Bond, that James Bond is also fucking here. Is Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig's the detective Benoit Blanc. And he's been James Bond in 4 movies, so I guess with the new one, that's 5. That's a lot. It's not well, you know, not everyone's in all of the James Bond movies. That's why there's like 8 dudes. So yeah. Daniel Craig's in the new James Bond movie because he's still James Bond. Which I remember when he was doing Skyfall. I think he said like I'm kind of getting sick of it, but I don't know. I guess he's still there. Maybe they convinced him by writing a better part. I don't know.
Or a better check.
Either way, he doesn't. He also did that crime movie Layer Cake, which is like where people really, really know him from. They're like, oh fuck, that movie's amazing. Because he's done a lot of English TV and he's done some theater and shit. But like most people probably know him from Munich and Layer Cake. Munich, which is that Steven Spielberg movie about the fucking terrorist attack during the Olympics. Also, I mentioned theater recently, and I mean super recently as far as like this is concerned. Like a few years ago, he was here in New York playing Iago in an off-Broadway production of Othello against David Oyelowo, who's another really good actor. He played Othello. David Oyelowo, I think at this point, is probably really well known for playing the Martin Luther King role in that movie Selma biopic that came out a year or two ago.
Yeah.
So yeah. But David Oyelowo does like general good work. I like him. And so other impressive people. Chris Evans is here for some fucking reason. Chris Evans is Captain America.
Well,
and
he
he's
can't be the
I'm
spoiled
surprised
rich
he
kid.
did a joke bit. You know, like most of the time, dramatic actors don't transition really well to comedy, and this movie is nothing if not jokes.
Oh.
So yeah, he was Hugh Ransom Drysdale, Captain America. He was in a bunch of shit people don't remember, but I think the Captain America movie is the one where people are like, oh my god, look at Chris Evans. But he's been in a bunch of shit that like nobody cares about. I think one of them was like called the stealing the grade or the highest grade or some shit. I remember because it's a TV movie. Like I saw it at some point and I was like, this is dumb. It was like a bunch of kids are gonna fail the SAT, so they steal the answers to the SAT when you could still do that. So it must have been like early 2000s or something. I don't remember. I don't remember exact details, but he was in that. And that's what I mean by like, nobody gives a shit about Chris Evans till like 2011, and then he's Captain America, and they're like, holy shit, what are you doing here?
So
It
wait,
was
did
also-
the kids win? Did they
I don't
fail?
remember, dude.
Oh.
I don't remember. It was a thing I saw like on TV, like when I was like 10 and sick at home. Like I don't remember.
I'm pretty
Ah,
sure
he-
kids still do that.
I mean, I don't think that's still possible. Well, with the digital like way that people process information now. But yeah. So anyway, also he was in that. Do you remember the CGI Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie? Not the one by Michael Bay, but the one from like 2007 that was just called TMNT. And there's like a whole bunch of shit that they don't explain, and they're just like, yeah, forget it, turtles are here, dimensional door, whatever. He was in that. He was Casey Jones, the guy with the hockey mask and other shit. Lakeith Stanfield is here, and I've recently become really, really interested in the stuff that he does. Because I believe I've mentioned Atlanta, how much I really, really, really like Atlanta. And he was in Get Out as Logan, which if you remember what Get Out was about, then you remember that. He was also in Straight Outta Compton as Snoop Dogg, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And I remember somebody saying, oh yeah, I think he's Snoop Dogg's cousin. I'm like, really? Okay.
I don't
Also-
know Snoop Dogg's last name, so maybe.
Yeah, I don't know his name either. I just know Snoop Dogg. Fuck if I know what the dude's real name is. I remember there was that time he was getting arrested for like tried for murder, and then they said his real name, but God knows how long ago that was. I don't know. And he was also in that movie Sorry to Bother You, and then I forgot this because that movie is like so punch you in the face with a message.
Oh,
I
yeah,
forgot.
I remember you talking about it.
Yeah, I forgot that the main character's name was Cash, and I'm like, his whole thing is money, and his name is Cash. Oh, fuck you, movie. Fuck you.
Wait, that's really stupid.
Yeah, that's really dumb. I forgot about that.
Like,
So,
I made
yeah.
a character, you know, the dude was
Oh yeah,
but,
yeah. But it's a very different thing.
yeah.
His whole motivation
It's
isn't
not
money.
like punch you, money.
Yeah. Fuck you, money. And I when I was looking that up, I also realized his girlfriend, the cool artsy chick that he tries to impress and that he doesn't impress when he becomes corrupted by capitalism, is named Detroit. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you, dude. I get it. I'm not an idiot. Jesus, whatever. I guess maybe it is for people who like don't know, but I don't know, whatever. It was just very transparent, and I thought that was dumb. But I forgot that he was in that movie.
Someone's like actually shocked in the movie.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Oh,
someone's
that's
like-
what the message means.
Yeah, someone goes to the end of the movie, goes like, wait, horses, wait, oh, because we're treated like animals, because we're the impoverished and and it's like, you learn this now as an adult man. I hate you. I hate everything about you. Also in this movie is Ricky Lindholm, who I've known her for like a bunch of other shit, which is why like, okay, cool, Ricky Lindholm is in this movie. What? Why? I didn't know that you knew anybody in this. Ricky Lindholm was like in the comedy duo Garfunkel and Oates, which is a name I really fucking love. That's such a strong name. That's like the best name ever.
How come?
Oh, okay. So it's taken from two different things. It's Simon and Garfunkel, where Paul Simon was the one that ended up famous and split from the two of them, and then Art Garfunkel just sort of faded away. Plus, they hated each other, so that was like a whole thing. And then Hall and Oates, which is Daryl Hall and John Oates. Again, Daryl Hall is the one that everyone remembers, and Oates is just there. So their name is the two guys that nobody remembers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really weird.
That's a strong name, man. And they do like music comedy sketches. Like they do songs that are just jokes. So yeah, and it's her and Kate McCucci, who I like a lot. That's a whole different thing. And Ricky Lindholm has been in a bunch of TV shows. She created a show with Natasha Leggero, which is a show I saw like maybe 2 episodes of, because it was an interesting idea, but I don't know if it was enough to make me like really interested. I might have to go back and check it out again. It was called Another Period, which is like, so the idea was keeping up with the Kardashians, but in 1902, where that's not a thing that's easy to do. And that was kind of the joke, that they were two sisters who were like, I want to be famous for being famous. And it's like, it's 1902, people are dying. We have other things to worry about. World War II is right around the corner. Like, I don't give a fuck. So, yeah. Christopher Plummer's in here for like 20 minutes. Also, I guess more minutes if you count the flashbacks. He's Harlan, the writer guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was the guy in The Sound of Music. He was the man who would be king. He was in Up. He was in a lot of shit. That man's career goes back to the 70s. So yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, Lakeith Stanfield is the detective, and Ricky Lindholm is the wife of fucking Don Johnson. Richard? No, wait, not Don Johnson. She's the wife of Michael Shannon. Fuck, what's his character's name right now? Dang. That's hard for me to remember because I just remember Michael Shannon. And I was like, Michael Shannon, what are you doing here? It's Walt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Walt. Okay. Yeah. She's Walt's wife. I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah. And then Jamie Lee Curtis is Harlan's daughter, Linda. Jamie Lee Curtis has done so many things. I think most people know her for being in Halloween, because that was like the movie that broke her career. And it's like one of the biggest movies in horror. Like, I guess it's really held up as like as one of the most significant what would you call it, like a cultural icon for the slasher genre. And then Black Christmas and a bunch of other shit. But yeah, she's also in that movie, one of the more batshit insane Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, True Lies, which is like really weird that she's just there as like the love interest. Is just a thing. And she was also in a movie written by John Cleese, which is like a fucking stupid, goofy like a thief thing. It's called A Fish Called Wanda, which, man, that movie's funny and fucking weird, and that makes sense because it was written by John Cleese, one of the members of Monty Python. Also, fun fact about Jamie Lee Curtis: she loves Street Fighter and mains Cammy, and she's been at Evo a few times.
I thought she mains Vega.
She switched to Vega. She used to main Cammy.
Because I saw her in the Vega costume.
Yeah. Nah, she mains Cammy.
Yeah.
I think she switched to Vega in 5, which is like, I love that she cared enough to like look up the things and go like, I feel like Vega's more my guy now.
I guess she likes her frame data better. His frame data better.
She probably actually read it, which is a strange thing that you don't expect from random Hollywood actor. But yeah. Also, she's really into Warcraft, which is the thing I learned recently. I was like, okay. I mentioned Don Johnson before because he's Linda's, not just because he's Linda's wife, but Linda's husband, but also he's the dude from Miami Vice, which is like weird that he's like come back in the last like 6 years or so. He's started to work a whole bunch of new shit again. Like he was in Miami Vice and Nash Bridges and a bunch of TV shows, and then he was in Django Unchained, and then recently he was in that movie Brawl in Cell Block 99, which if you haven't seen is a very, very interesting action movie because it's like sad. It's not an action movie like most of the ones you see like Jean-Claude Van Damme or like the 80s ones where it's like, oh yeah, I'm a cool guy, whatever. It's Vince Vaughn, who previously was known as that guy in the weird movie about like getting laid, Swingers, or Wedding Crashers or whatever. Like those are the movies he made. And then he's the protagonist in Brawl in Cell Block 99, a guy who goes to jail after committing a murder. Like, and he's like a fucking hitman. And he's just like miserable in there while they're trying to make his life shit because he snitched to get less time. And it's a brutal movie.
So it's a sad on top of sad.
It's a sad, angry movie.
Multiple layers of sad.
Yeah, yeah. And it was really interesting as far as action movies go.
Oh.
I always like either action movies that are really goofy so they're funny, like I don't know, like Rikio, where the guy tries to strangle him with his intestines, or like Jackie Chan shit,
I
where
saw
like
that. I remember that. That was
yeah, shit's crazy. Or like
every Jackie Chan movie. Yeah.
Yeah, Jackie Chan movies are also really fun. Like when he has the fucking bar fight in Police Story, where he like
Those
slams his
are
head.
real stuff.
Yeah, that man is taking a lot of abuse.
And his actors too.
Oh, you mean the stunt people? Yeah. So yeah, man, like I usually like that kind of stuff. But Brawl and Subblock 99 was really interesting for how like dark it was. And Don Johnson is like the fucking evil warden, and I'm like, what are you doing here, Miami Vice guy? And it was like, I'm here. What's up? And in this movie, he also pulled a really good scummy guy. I like that. It was a good job. And the last one I wanted to mention was a guy who talks for maybe 5 minutes total. Frank Oz. He's the lawyer. Remember the lawyer who's reading the will?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The reason I wanted to bring up Frank Oz is because he's a director and an actor. He's the voice of Yoda, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Animal, and Sam Eagle on the Muppets up until like 81. And then he voiced Cookie Monster, Bert, and Grover on Sesame Street until 2013. And he's also directed some really good movies, like the 1986 version of Little Shop of Horrors, the 2007 original English comedy version of Death at a Funeral. He also directed Bowfinger, which I vaguely remember. And I kind of want to go back to watch it because it's like Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy pretend. Well, like Steve Martin is making a movie while Eddie Murphy doesn't realize he's in a movie,
Okay.
and it's like that sounds like really weird. Yeah, I kind of want to go see that again. And also the 2004 remake of The Stepford Wives, which if you've seen the original one, it's just kind of weird. And then the 2004 one tries to make it funnier, and it's also weird. And I kind of like it for that reason. In the same way that the Little Shop of Horrors movie version is very different than the play, but like it still really, really carries a whole really interesting vibe. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
You think all the actors just wanted to hang out with each other?
I think it was like they heard the script and they're like, oh, that script's kind of cool, and then they were like, who's directing? And it's like Rian Johnson. What? Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, they probably like the movies.
Yeah, I feel, yeah. Like, I mean, yeah. That's usually how like some of that stuff happens. Like, do you remember do you remember that Garfield movie that came out like way back when, the CGI Garfield with Bill Murray?
Yeah.
So like what happened was somebody told him that the Coens were directing, and he was like, oh shit, the Coen brothers, I gotta work with the Coen brothers. And then it just turned out to be somebody else with the name Coen, and he was like, fuck. So like I think it was kind of like that, where they're like, who's directing? Rian Johnson? God, I really want to work with that guy. Yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. Why not? And then it just turned out to be everybody really gave it their all. He's the guy. Rian Johnson is the guy who directed Looper, which is like a really, really fun movie. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I
It's
saw
like,
it.
yeah, you remember Joseph Gordon-Levitt and fucking goddamn, Bruce Willis. Yeah. He also did Brick and The Brothers Bloom. The Brothers Bloom is really, really fucking goofy. And Brick, I've only seen once, but it was dark, and I kind of want to see it again now. Also, he directed The Last Jedi, the Star Wars movie. He also wrote on it, which is really neat. I happen to think that movie was fun because it was telling everybody to go fuck themselves for taking it seriously. And I was like, yeah, do it. Remind everyone this is stupid.
So that's what it was about? It's like, oh, it's a stupid movie.
Well, it was like, there's a whole bunch of shit that's set up in the first movie, and then the second movie says, fuck it, it doesn't matter, none of it matters.
Oh, this made like a time machine, whatever.
No, it's like the whole point of like every other thing is like, no, seriously, it doesn't matter. Like there's a part in the first movie with like the girl Ray, they're like, oh, I wonder who her parents are. There must be like really interesting people. And in the second movie, it was like, your parents were drug addicts who sold you for money. And I was like, oh. And I was like, yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. Shut up. And I was like, I like that. I really like that. There's a whole scene where they go to like a fucking casino planet, which is like, okay, that's a weird thing, but whatever. But then it's like, hey, why do you think Casino Planet is loaded with people with money? It's like, I don't know. What do you think these people do? It's like they sell weapons. So, you know, in a global war economy, this works. It was like, oh, are we going to talk about the military-industrial complex? Is that what we're doing? All right. Yeah. Let's do that. Holy shit. Oof. Child slavery for the military. Wow, okay. Like, I thought that movie was cool.
You can't tell me you can't do it.
I mean, he was in charge. He was the writer and the director. Fuck you. And then the third movie that came out was like, fuck all that shit. Fuck all that. Forget that. That movie sucked. And I was like, oh, okay. But this is not about Star Wars. We could talk about Star Wars some other time. Maybe when we play a game like KOTOR. But like, dude. Knives Out is so pretty of a movie.
Yeah.
I love all the shots. I love the setting of the house. I love how they built everything. Oh, it's so pretty. I fucking love it. Like, its cinematography is really nice. I really dig it. All the establishing shots, all the wide angles, the cuts. Like, it's so good. And that's just like talking about how the movie looks. I mean, like, the story is so much fun. It turns into 3 different movies. That's awesome, man.
So, what would you say the first part of the movie is?
So the first movie is the murder mystery part. It's trying to figure out how Harlan died.
Yeah.
And then the second that is revealed, it's not about that anymore. Fuck that. Who gives a shit about that? It's Martha trying to stay safe. And it's like, okay, well, shit. And then the third part, it goes back to the first part, but now with a completely new context because Chris Evans is a monster, I guess.
Yeah.
Because Ransom was actually a huge monster the whole time. Fuck you. Ah, man. Because, like, when it makes the turn in the second half, right? And then, like, Ransom helps out. Yeah, and Ransom helps out Martha. I'm like, huh, that's weird. But then he gives the whole little speech, right? About, like, oh, yeah, well, I realized, yeah, maybe actually he freed me. Now I can do whatever the fuck I want. My life is mine, and I can build something. And like, yada, yada. And I was like, oh, okay. So the whole thing is he's the black sheep of the family, so he's going to be the only one who supports her. Yeah, that happens in a bunch of movies, whatever. But then he turns back on it with a huge heel move at the end of the movie, and it was like, whoa, okay. So this was actually about that the whole time? And it goes, yes, it was. The toxicology report was so important. Man, that shit was awesome. And I do love how the entire first, like, 40 minutes of the movie just really settled on, like, oh, man, how did Harlan die? And then, like, when it reveals it, it goes like, all right, cool. Now the movie is completely different. It's like, oh, we're still going. It has been only 40 minutes. I guess what the fuck else is happening?
You gotta learn about Ransom.
Yeah, we gotta get into the family literally trying to sell out Marta's family to illegal immigration. Goddamn, man, that was some heel shit. That was amazing. And
I thought you stuck that in there, like, oh, they're immigrants.
Yeah.
I'm trying to control them. See, that wasn't overt.
I love that there's another more subtle one, which is none of them know where Marta's from. Every single one of them says a different country, and it shows you they don't give a shit about her.
Yeah.
But they all say it lovingly, and that's what that made me go like, oh, you fucks, you privileged fucks. It's just like, oh yeah, you know, Marta's like one of the family. Her family's from Guatemala, and then someone else says like, oh, her family's from Mexico. Her family's from Honduras, and it's like, none of you know, none of you fucking care enough to know. Like that. That's so good. That's such a good, and you just tweak that one word and suddenly it says so much about their relationship to Marta. And there's that part where like everybody's arguing, right? And fucking Richard is like going on about how like people should go in through the proper legal channels and shit. And you see how like he holds the glass out to Marta and he doesn't say anything. He just keeps shaking it, like take it. And it's like, she's not a maid. She was there to take care of your dad.
Yeah.
But he does it anyway. Like, oh, that's so good. That's so good because it says so much through just a little action. It's a good job. Fuck.
And also, the way she beat him at what game was it?
Oh yeah. Go.
Yeah, Go.
Board game. Yeah.
She just tries to make pretty pictures.
Yeah. You know what's funny about Go is that a lot of the biggest professional players say they don't have plans past a certain point. That past a certain point they just go, this feels right. Mm-hmm. So like it's interesting that her entire thing is also just, I'm just trying to have fun. And that's why she beats him all the goddamn time. And there's that part where Ransom, like at the end, after he's doing his whole like big villain, I reveal all my secrets, whatever the fuck, you know, the confession part, where he goes like, I never thought it would bother me that much, but he knew, and I'm like, wow, that's some like fucking, oh, that's a mental breakdown sentence. And also, they set up the thing at the end with the knife, because at the beginning, Harlan even says, like, oh, man, I feel like we've crippled Ransom. We've crippled all of them.
Yeah,
yeah, and he says, and I quote, I was like, I think it's gotten to the point where he couldn't tell a real knife from a prop one.
Yeah, I remember
that. It's so good.
I was like, that's probably gonna come back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's so good because he just says it. He just says it
I
like,
see
oh
your
god, he's fucking
tropes.
stupid.
I
I'm
see
like,
your
yeah,
tropes,
yeah, yeah.
director.
I got that. I got that. I see that. That's a setup. That's a
Yeah.
setup. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's a Chekhov's gun. I got that. Where's it going? Oh, and then at the end of the movie, it comes up. I'm like, there it is. That's what I wanted to see.
He's just like poke, poke.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah. He goes
shit.
like, yeah, yeah. Stab, stab. Well, fuck. And Lakeith Stanfield just like, well, shit. Didn't expect any of that.
I like the way they can make it lighthearted and like a serious movie at the same
It's
time.
a funny movie. That's yeah. That's the thing I would give it the most. It's a very funny movie. Like it's not always funny in the way you would expect it to be, but that's why people compare it to Clue. Because if you watch the movie Clue, it's very they're like still trying to solve a murder, but there's a bunch of jokes just happening throughout.
Hmm.
It's some of my favorite films are films that like have the ability to like use humor to not just undercut a moment but de-escalate it, because when you undercut it you're just like, oh fuck it, forget it, who cares, right? But like softening the moment a little bit still like it still keeps you on edge and invested in the entire story, and that's like really good. I
Yeah,
love that
that like
shit.
pulls you back in.
Yeah, yeah, and then you're just like, oh yeah, now we're here. I'm totally here for this. I love this fucking movie. Man, the part where they're like, huh, maybe we can fake that she committed the murder to get a Slayer rule.
Yeah,
Oh boy. And then like that has its own thing going on because of what you think is happening at the movie at that point. Because then at the third turn of the movie, it's like, oh okay, well fuck it. Who even cares anymore? It's over. Good for Marta. Good for she's having the fucking coffee, and she's just watching them leave. It's like, this is my
Yeah.
house now. Goodbye.
this is mine.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And she was
I
really
lo-
thinking about giving them the money too, even
Yeah,
when they know
yeah.
like they abuse her and stuff.
Because her whole thing is she's a legitimately good person. That's why she can't even lie. Her body rejects the idea of deception.
Yeah.
That's how noble she is.
So the only good person in the family was the writer, Harlan.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess that's what Harlan's whole thing is, right? He feels that he's fucked up his family by like coddling them their whole lives, giving them money, giving them this, giving them whatever that they wanted, you know? So now that he's dying, he's like, I have to like do something. I have to do the what's he said? I have to do the right thing for them for once.
Yeah,
Something like that.
I had to set them straight.
Yeah, I have to set them straight. So he's like cutting all of them loose and giving it to somebody who was like really important to him so
That's
that
like-
they can start do their own shit.
That'll teach them a lesson.
Yeah, do your own things.
Look at Martha, guys. She's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Follow her.
Look at her. She can't even lie. How pure do you have to be like you have your body reject a bad thing? You got it. You all could do something. And he goes like, Ransom is the most like me, and that's why I worry about him. My shit was rough. Oh man, it was great.
Is that
It's
because he
so-
like convoluted his own story? And he's also a writer.
Yeah, yeah.
When they like, gave all this speech.
Oh yeah, the whole all right, here's the plan. Here's what we're doing. She goes like, this sounds ridiculous. He goes like, no. I got it. Trust me. I do shit I'm a mystery writer. I know how to do this. I was like, what? Are you serious? But it works for most of the movie.
It worked for
It-
a while. It's like, just listen
Yeah.
to me, you'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It works for most of the movie.
Yeah.
The only reason things get undone is because the person who hired Benoit, the super, becomes involved. Ah man. By the way, Daniel Craig doing the Louisiana accent that slowly goes west. I don't know what that's about. I feel like he decided that. I feel like
It
he thought it
worked.
was fun.
It was
It was-
fun.
It's fun. It was fun. But I did notice like it started it like kind of French and then just stopped being kind of French. And I was like, ooh. All right. I guess at some point you were like, all right, it's getting harder to fake the French part of it. Let's just do that. Because the name is super French. So
Mhm.
like with that accent, I'm like, oh, he's from Louisiana or something. And then the accent just starts moving towards Texas. And I was like, oh, okay. Forget the French part of it. Don't worry about it.
Maybe he did it on purpose.
Yeah, I feel like
So
that
you're
was
like, I don't
totally.
know how to fucking do it.
Yeah, I feel like that was totally a Daniel Craig decision.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And probably
Benoit.
just like, alright, let's just leave it.
Yeah. And they're just like, you know what? It's fine. Who cares? Who gives a shit? It's won of a lot of awards so far, and it's been nominated for a bunch of other ones that still haven't been like fully dealed out.
Mhm.
So I'm interested to see how that comes out. It's I lost some shit against but like they lost. I wrote him here. So Daniel Craig was nominated for the Golden Globe against Taron Egerton who was Elton John in Rocketman, Eddie Murphy, who was in Dolomite Is My Name, which like, okay, so that was the acting bit. So I don't really know how Rocket Man came out. I don't really like a lot of those music biopics because they're less actually biographical and more movies. You know how like when we talk about anime and I'm like, oh, when you turn the manga into a show, you have to like make it a show.
Yeah, you have to do the script writing.
Yeah, yeah. So like this is the movie thing where like the movie will ignore a bunch of shit or skip other shit because it's like no that does not add to the story I'm trying to tell with this person's life, and it's like, well then it's not really about the person's life, is it? It's about the story. So I didn't see Rocket Man, but I did see Dolomite Is My Name, and that's a really good fucking movie. So like I would have given it to either like I haven't seen Rocket Man, so I don't really know how that performance went, but damn. Dolomite Is My Name, like Knives Out and Rocket Man are probably pretty fucking heavy competition. Ana de Armas lost the Golden Globe to Aquafina for Billy in The Farewell, which I have not seen, but it's a dramedy, less so than a like comedy like this one. So I feel like that would feel really hard to compare those two. I've heard about The Farewell. It sounds like a really interesting movie, but like I said, it's a dramedy, so it's like really heavy at some points. This movie is not.
No,
So
no.
I feel like that comparison must have been pretty hard to make.
Yeah.
And right now it's nominated for an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay, and it's going up against 1917, which is that like movie about World War One.
Yeah, I read the book.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is the fucking Tarantino movie. Parasite, which is really good. I've seen that movie. Holy fuck, it's good. And Marriage Story. I haven't seen Marriage Story. I saw like the big scene that everyone talks about, the fight towards the end, and that scene was amazing. Fucking Adam Driver did a good job. A friend of mine like kept talking to me about it. I'm like, I should probably go see that then. So I've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's usual Tarantino like fucking wild violent shit. So like and 1917, I'm not a big war movie guy, but I feel like it might go to that one just because I don't give a shit, but it's like, you know, it's whatever the old people feel makes sense.
I think it's just like them really just trying to get on the shore.
Is it? I didn't see it. I just know it's like one of those like old school, big, epic, oh my fucking god, war is brutal movies.
Yeah, because
Like
the whole
what's
movie
that?
was just them trying to get on the shore and show like how many people are dying.
Is it? Because I remember
think
that
so.
the trailer I saw was like, oh, you gotta go send the message to this guy, and if you don't, a bunch of people are gonna die. And then the guy's just like running through the
Oh yeah.
trenches, and
Yeah.
the guy's just running through trenches, and I'm like, oh, okay.
It was doing that to send more troops into the shore
Okay.
because they were running out of it.
It is World War One, so it's probably really heavy. That before World War Two happened, they called it the Great War just because everyone died. So yeah, but you know, this is a really good movie, and I think it deserves the awards it wins. Hopefully, it'll win the one for best screenplay. If not, maybe Parasite, please. But you know, whatever.
I have not seen Parasite. I should check
It
it out.
it is intense. Like it's a movie that's kind of a horror movie, but it's like one of those horror movies that's like it's more about the atmosphere than it is about the actual content of the movie.
Oh, I probably wouldn't want to see it then. Never mind.
It's a very Korean horror movie.
Yeah, I
Where
probably
it's
wouldn't
like
see it.
fucking emotional. It's heavy. It is a heavy fucking movie.
No thanks.
Yeah. I know. You're really weak to intense horror movie. That's fine. But oof, it's good. Anyway, so yeah. Man, this movie's fucking great. I can't believe Frank Oz is here just to say like, you're all out of the will. Like what, Frank Oz? You didn't have anything else to do?
I just want to hang out.
You just wanted to hang out?
Yeah. Like, ooh.
Yeah,
Jamie
yeah.
Lee Curtis.
Hey, what's up? It's been a minute, hasn't it? How's it going, everybody? Fuck. That's so weird. Like, Daniel Craig I can buy because he was like, oh, fuck, I got to be a detective. This sounds awesome. This sounds like a good spot for me. Frank Oz, what are you doing? He was Yoda in the last Star Wars movies, right? So, like, was this what else he was doing while that was going on?
Yeah, in between
That's
breaks of doing Yoda voice.
Yeah, he's like, maybe I should go do this other movie.
It's
Because
not a
it's not
big
like
role.
his scenes. Yeah, it's not like his scenes take up a lot of the time.
Hmm.
I was just surprised that he showed up. I was like, is that the voice of the Cookie Monster? It is. What the fuck are you doing here? And I was like, hey, what's up? I'm here to read the will. It's like, oh, okay, sure. I'm really glad Lakeith Stanfield got a pretty decent part of the movie as the police detective.
Mhm.
I feel like he should get a lot of work. Cause damn, his work in Atlanta and Get Out were really fucking good. Like really fucking good. Especially Atlanta. That show's fucking awesome. Like
Well, I guess
man.
he is getting some more work with this.
No, that's what I mean. I'm glad that he got this because it shows that he's getting more work and I feel he deserves it.
As I said, he should get more work.
Yeah, that's how I felt before he started getting more shit.
Not that he is getting more work. Okay.
He is now.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm glad he's getting more work. I feel like he has a lot to add to things. He can do like very, very like somber pretty well. But like in Atlanta, he does comedy fucking flat. That's really good. He plays the spacey guy who's like always kind of high and shit. It's awesome. This is bit where he goes, where he's like in a shooting range and like he's putting up, because you're allowed to bring your own targets. So he puts up a target of a dog and all the white people there are like, dude, what the fuck? You can't shoot a target of a dog. And he's like, why? And I go like, what do you mean? It's a dog. And he was like, yeah, but it's like a picture of a dog. And also, if I'm going to shoot something, it's more likely than not going to be like an animal that's going to try to kill me. You guys have pictures of people. That's fucked up. I don't plan on shooting people anytime soon. And I was like, but it's like, it's a dog. And then he like points to the one that says dad and he goes like, that one's especially fucked up. I'm not okay with this. And then they throw him out because they just don't want him shooting the pictures of the dog. This is like, fuck, that was a really good bit. So yeah, he's been in like quite a few movies since he started working for real in 2014. But most of them haven't been like shit that like hits the circuit, you know?
Yeah.
And I think he was in Selma, and he was in Straight Outta Compton, and he was in Sorry to Bother You and Get Out in Atlanta. But I mean like I feel like he's been in other shit too that I just have not heard of, and that's
So
why
he
I'm
does
like, I
like
want to.
A movies, B movies. I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be indie films rather, like
So indie
films.
A. Okay.
Yeah. Like I think it was in that movie. Fuck, what was the name of that movie? It was about like that was with fucking Brad Pitt. It was like the satire movie that came out a few years ago. Fuck. War Machine. That's it.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's a comedy movie, and it was put on Netflix, and I was like, well, fuck, what do you do now? Like, I mean, you know, some people are gonna see it, some people aren't. He's also been in a bunch of romantic comedies, but again, like stuff that
I
fucking
see he was
nobody.
in Death Note.
He was L in the Death Note movie, which is really funny to me because like everyone was like, did anyone see that? And everyone's like, no. Every single person I asked, did you see Death Note? They're like, no. And I'm like, well, shit. Because I was hoping either somebody could say interesting, bad, you know, anything, right? Because this is fucking Greg Russo wrote it, I think, and fucking Willem Dafoe was Ryuk, and I'm like, man, I wonder how that came out. Because Willem Dafoe sounds like a crazy person. He'd probably do really good at voicing a horrible demon being. And I was like, has no one seen Death Note? I have not seen Death Note.
Did you see it?
No. I wanted somebody to tell me how is it, and then nobody was able to tell me how is it. Not a single person could say, "Oh, it was okay. It sucked. Whatever." Everyone was like, "Didn't see it. So I had
Did we talk
nothing
about
to
this
go
before?
on. I feel like we did.
Like they're just trying to revive, like stuff.
Like it's a weird thing for like yeah. Netflix buys rights to random shit and goes maybe. Like when they did the sequel to Boy Meets World where it's his daughter, and I'm like, who gives a shit about Boys Meets World? Children don't give a shit about Boys Meets
It's
World.
way too old.
Yeah, it's way
I don't
too
want to
late.
see it again.
It's way too late. It's way too late for kids to still be into Boy Meets World. Like mad late. That's like when it's like that show fucking they also brought back Full House, and I was like, for who? For who?
They did.
Yeah, Fuller House. The joke is that's her last name because she married. It's like the eldest one, I think, and then she had like a few kids, and then her husband died, so she's living in the house with her sisters. And like fucking God, what's his name? John Stamos, Uncle Jesse, fucking Bob Saget, and Dave Coulier, like all the three like older guys. They show up in the first episode, go hi, glad to help you move, and then leave, and that's it. They never come back. And it was just like 5 minutes ago, like we acknowledge this existence. Goodbye.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, it's all about the sisters or whatever. So yeah.
Is it funny?
I don't know. I didn't fucking watch it. Why was I gonna watch the remake of Full House? For what purpose?
I don't know. Maybe it'll be funny. Like how
think
bad
so?
it is.
Oh, ironically funny. That's different. Maybe. I don't know.
They actually cut the same comedy as Full House. I don't know.
Oh man, it's like fucking stupid early '90s family sitcom. Like it's just the same exact show. That'd be nuts.
Oh
This is
yeah. Do you think like reviving shows is a good thing? Like even if it was the same exact thing,
I
I
I
think
I,
people
don't-
want something different, right?
I think that doesn't work. Yeah, because like sometimes I think the only times you can do like a total remake is when you have the same exact people working on it and they decide to make it different.
Mhm.
So like for example, I always think of Funny Games. Funny Games is a really really fucking interesting horror movie,
Mhm.
and it's like so it was made twice, right? It was made once in like the 90s. Hold on a second. I want to get the exact date. Live research.
Get
I think
hype.
it I think it's been a minute since we've done live research.
Ooh, Sonic is coming out
Yeah, dude, I want to see that.
in Valentine's Day.
Yeah. It's me taking myself out on a date, depending on what day it comes out.
It's Valentine's Day. I
Yeah,
think it's
but
Friday.
that a Wednesday? That's what I'm asking. Like, what day is Valentine's Day?
Yeah, Friday.
Is it?
Mhm.
Do I want to go see it on Friday? I feel like other people are also gonna go see it, if only because it looks fucking crazy.
I'm gonna try to see it. I'm gonna see if the group wants to see it.
I think if we're gonna do it as a group thing, maybe we could do it Saturday. Is what I'm thinking.
Oh, and it's not as crowded. No, it's still gonna
Yeah.
be crowded because everyone thinks like, oh, let's go Saturday, and then everyone goes Saturday.
You say that, but
That happened to me so many times.
a lot of people insist on going first day. I know this.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of people that are like probably the second day too.
Hmm. Hmm. I guess that's probably true. I don't know. Okay, so it's from 1997. So
Okay.
yeah, it's made by the director Michael Haneke, and he's done a lot of really really interesting movies because he was inspired by Ingmar Bergman and Pier Paolo Pasolini. So yeah, like he's done a lot of really weird, interesting movies. And Funny Games, I think, is maybe one of the ones that I'm the most interested in. So the original one is from 1997, and it's an Austrian movie, so it's spoken, in Austrian, like sort of German, like that, right?
Mhm.
And then he remade the movie in 2007, and he added some stuff and took away some other stuff. And I think the 2007 version is better, legitimately. I would say that the one things I don't like as much are maybe the actors, because the actors who take the couple's role are very, very like recognizable. Versus, I think with the original 1997 one, they're if maybe I'm not because I don't know a bunch of shit about Austrian television or movies. Maybe I don't recognize them, but that also added to like the realism of the movie, the cinema verite, as I've said before.
Hmm.
So like yeah, and I really like that. In the 2007 version, it was Naomi Watts and Tim Roth, which is like oh okay, that's yeah. But like the nature of the movie itself, so fucking good, like no doubt. It's fucking great.
It's
And
weird that he comes back to it. Like, nah, I could do better still.
yeah. That's what I mean. Like he goes back to it and goes like, no, I could do better.
That's a guy dedicated.
Yeah, that's a guy who was like, no, I could totally do better. Okay, no, wait, actually, so yeah, she was in a bunch of other movies he made, but that's not like they're not really famous, crazy. Like they don't have a shit ton of stuff going on. So yeah, I would say if the one thing that I like better about the '97 movie is the actors, because it feels a little more real, because they're not like, oh fuck, look, it's Brad Pitt, But overall, movie better. He added some scenes which really, really do amp up the way the fucking movie ends. And so yeah, I would say maybe that's the only opportunity where I would say a remake is like actually useful, where the same creator goes, I kind of want to tweak it and make it like a different kind of movie. But other than that, I don't really see the point because it's so redundant. Like you said, like people want to see something else, right? Like how many fucking Robin Hood movies do you need to see? None. Everybody knows what Robin Hood is. But there's like 50 of them. So
Or
like,
Hansel and Gretel.
oh yeah.
Or Bonnie and Clyde. I'm
Well, the
sick
thing
of you
I've said
guys.
that. Yeah. The thing about the fairy tale ones is the fairy tale ones are public domain, so you don't have to pay for rights.
Oh, that's how they
That's
get
the
it.
thing I know for sure. So like Robin Hood is also public domain, and like Hansel and Gretel is public domain, shit like that. But like, how many versions of fucking Stepford Wives do you need? One. Even if the 2004 one is interesting, I don't think it was super necessary. I don't think it was. And then there's the Death at a Funeral, which has two versions. One from 2007 that's in England, and another one like a few years later that was made here in the States, and it was with a whole bunch of black actors. And I was like, why? Is it just to try to get it popular again in America. Because I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is that they were like, hey, maybe other people will try to make this movie again, but with people you actually recognize, so you'll go watch it. Like that's the only thing I can think of because it's not like the movie even really changed. Like maybe some of the line deliveries changed because they're different actors, but it's not actually a different movie. So like, what the fuck is the point?
Yeah. Oh,
So
just to
yeah,
make money, I guess. But I don't know.
yeah. The 2010 one had like Chris Rock, Luke Wilson, Martin Lawrence, Danny Glover, and I'm like, why? Why? For what purpose? I guess to try to get people's attention with it again, but I don't know. I feel like the first one was fine. You'd probably show the first one to anyone and just go like, hey, this is a fine movie. But interestingly enough, Peter Dinklage comes back to do the same character. So like, Peter Dinklage was super in.
Like, yeah, I still like this.
Fuck yeah. Peter Dinklage was like, can I play the gay lover again? That sounds hype as fuck. I was like, okay, Peter Dinklage, sure. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see the point to doing remakes unless they're like fully different movies, and even then, you could have just made a different movie, you know.
Maybe they run out of imagination.
I figure it's to bank on a name to basically say, hey, you remember this thing, right? Check it out. It's here again, and then assuming you'll go see it again, which people do. It's not like they don't, right?
Yeah, they
Like,
do.
Like people still go see those live action remakes of the Disney movies, even though a bunch of other people bitch about it. They still go see it. So like it's not
But I figured Netflix would see like, oh, how come Netflix doesn't do well then?
Netflix does do a bunch of things like us TV shows, but I
But
just
they're
don't think they
losing
have the
money.
money. I just don't think they have the money to keep going.
Oh, it's not lasting.
Yeah. Also, they had to give up some of their licenses recently. Remember? Because they couldn't keep re-upping the contract, like for Friends in The Office.
Hmm.
They just didn't have the money to keep it going. So they're like, well, fuck it. I mean, we already made our own shows. Might as well just cut it. Forgetting that, like, hey, guess what? There's a bunch of those shows that nobody watches anymore. They still want to watch Friends, motherfucker. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't fully understand the purpose of remakes. I usually assume it's just an attempt to like bank off of a name, you know. It's sort of like when movies will say, "Oh, from the director who did blah blah blah," like whatever movie you like, because they're like, "See, he's doing another thing. Maybe you'll like it." Or from the people who brought you, and they say that so they don't have to actually tell you he's a producer. He just paid money. He didn't have any creative input, like shit like that.
Yeah.
Like that's what I think it is. Where they're just trying to go like, "You like the thing, right? Look at the thing." I think most of the time,
watching by association.
yeah. It's totally supposed to be cool by association. You got it on the head. But yeah, you know what though? This movie could fucking stand on its own. It doesn't need shit else. I don't even think it needed all these actors. I think it could have just done well without them. I think the writing is strong enough that like if you just have Ana de Armas and a whole bunch of other people, still would have been fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm impressed that they got all these people. And I'll admit, I still have my one joke about Daniel Craig's accent going west, but other than that, everyone did a good job. I'm really impressed by Ana de Armas' work, especially because the last thing I remember her in was that fucking weird ass horror movie Knock Knock, where she fucks Keanu Reeves, and like that's like part of the horror of the movie, and it's like okay,
That sounds crazy.
it's a crazy movie, especially because the end of the movie was, haha, we did this just to fuck with you. Now your life is ruined. Goodbye.
The horror.
It's a yeah.
The most
yeah.
horrifying sex scene.
It's scary to a degree because of what happens, you know. Also, Chris Evans did a really good job being a smarmy dick.
Yeah.
I think Ransom was very douchey. This spoke very true to the person they wrote. You did a good job, Chris Evans.
He has that laugh, like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
cocky laugh all the time.
They're like, that's like he's making fun of you, so he's having fun.
Yeah, like
What
I'm
a-
here just to see if I'm gonna get the money.
Yeah, fuck all y'all. All y'all suck.
Oh, he literally said that.
Oh yeah, he did literally say, "I'm just here to see what I get," and then ride the fuck out.
No, he
He's-
stuck the middle finger at all of them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
said, "Fuck
Oh,
you,
where he
fuck
just
you."
yeah on his way out. Yeah, he's like, well, okay, guess I'm done here. It's just flipping everybody off.
Because he knew they weren't gonna get the money.
Well, he loved it. He laughed. He was dying when he found out, like, oh, none of you get shit. Sick. All right, we're all out then.
I just pictured Tommy Wiseau laughing. I don't know why. It's not the same thing. Like instead of Chris Evans, just be like ha ha ha. Ha. It's like stupid.
Yeah, that'd be great. It was like fucking. It was like Vincent Price as he fucking leaves, flipping everybody off. That'd be funny. But yeah, man. Anna de Armas, Chris Evans, Lakeith Stanfield, they all did really good. And I do happen to like Michael Shannon as Walter because he's like, oh, I'm sad and I'm broken, and then he starts pulling out the really gross shit like, I know your family's illegal. I'm just saying it might benefit you, and like, oh, you're a scumbag.
You forgot to get the mail. I got the mail for you.
Yeah. Fucking scumbag. Also, the kid from fucking It is in here as like an alt-right troll.
Oh yeah. He was a Nazi
Yeah, he's an alt-right Nazi
masturbator.
kid. Yeah, oh yeah. Fuck. What did he say exactly? It was like, yes, ignoring the young Nazi boy who masturbated in the bathroom or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I was like,
He
oh,
was
that
jerking
that
off to
boy.
a Nazi sorry.
Yeah, it's like that boy is actually a Nazi. And it's like, oh, ooh. Because he probably posts like fucking the Kekistan flag and shit. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then it's just like, no, he's a good kid. He's a good kid. And I'm like, oof. I know that kid. I know that kind of kid. I've seen that motherfucker online. Oof.
Bring back Hitler. Alright.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Man.
Is it time for food or
Oh, I just got one thing to say about that kid. Good on him. I didn't think he'd like get another role in a movie like this. I figured he'd be stuck doing kid roles. But Jaden Martell got like a regular ass movie role. He was in that fucking weird ass movie, The Book of Henry and Saint Vincent and shit. And now he's like actually doing stuff. Which I don't know if you've seen The Book of Henry, but that
No.
Book of Henry is fucking horrible. It's mean. It's a mean movie.
like
It's,
angry mean or sad mean?
It's a kid who is smarter than everyone, tells them that they're stupid, and then proves to be correct the entire movie.
Ah, so it's just
It's just mad. It's just an angry movie.
check out how big this detective's dick is.
Yeah.
I guess like
Check
James
out-
Bond.
Check out the genius dick on this 8-year-old. Like it's fucking nuts. It's a crazy movie. It is very James Bond when you think about it. You're right. It is very James Bond. Just like fuck you, I'm right. I win.
Just-
Even when I
just no
die, I'm
female.
right. Yeah. Just no love interest. Instead, it's him fucking mansplaining to his mom. The whole movie. It's like, Mom, look, you don't understand. You're dumb. And she's like, you're a child. He goes, no, you don't understand. And then he's right. I was like, fuck you, movie. But yeah. He's in that movie, Book of Henry, and then he was in It as one of the kids in the fucking club. So like, that was good. Did a good job in that. I saw that. I didn't see the second one. Did you? You don't
No.
watch horror movies, so like, I
I've
don't know.
watched the first one.
Did
I heard
you?
it wasn't that scary.
It has jump scares, and I know that's your thing.
Yeah, and I
Well,
think I
overall,
the
it's
first one,
fine.
so I was like,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. So did you see the second one? No?
No.
I wonder if I should, because I know it's just going to be the adult half. Like, I already know what it is, because
Isn't it too late?
I saw that stupid shitty miniseries. I feel like it's online somewhere. Maybe. Probably. How long has it been out?
I don't know. Do people even watch it?
I feel like people watched it. If only because, you know how there's always that very specific section of YouTube that's like very specific film people. It's like, all these 5 guys do horror movies. All these 5 guys do like fucking books. All these 5, you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of those guys like just explained the plot of It Chapter 2. I didn't watch it, but I saw it. So I was like, I feel like people did see it, even if I wasn't super in on it. Dude, have you ever read that book?
No.
That book is fucked up.
Have you
Like
read
the movie is yeah, I read it. That movie is not as fucked up as the books. And because I figured if they were gonna make it darker, it'd be just as fucked up as the book. But they were like, nah, that book is still too fucked up. And I'm like, that's fair. That book is fucked up. I feel like that's before Stephen King got way too addicted to cocaine. So I don't know what was going on with it when he wrote that book.
So wait, he was worse?
Oh fuck yeah, he got crazy jacked on coke and then like went nuts and then like started writing shit like God, what was that one about the fucking living cars and then the big car had like a fucking a Green Goblin mask on it? Was it Maximum Overdrive? I think it was Maximum
so.
Overdrive.
He talks about it before.
Dude, that movie's fucking crazy. And when you watch the interviews, you could see like Stephen King is clearly high on cocaine. He's clearly high on cocaine. He's like rubbing his face and his teeth and shit. And he's just like, yeah, I you know, it's really like kind of interesting because it's kind of human, but it's not It's more than that. And it's like, dude,
It's a cock.
you are high on coke. You are out of it. You are out of it, dude. It's crazy. It's a crazy movie. And then yeah. Like that fucking that book is crazy. Here's a real thing that happens, and I am not lying to you. This is not like me going way too real hard for no reason. There's a part where the kids get lost in the caves, right? Like it happens in the first movie.
Hmm.
And in the first movie, they go like, "Oh, hey, we're just gonna believe," and then they walk on through, right, to not show fear.
All right.
Do you know what happens in the book?
What happened?
The boys gang bang the girl to gain confidence.
All right. Can you do that in a book? I guess you can.
I mean, he did it.
All right.
That's just the thing that happens.
Did you just not talk about it for the rest of the book?
It's kind of detailed. Like she mentions which one has the biggest dick. It's weird. It's a weird book.
But that doesn't affect their relationship.
No, they're all friends. That's it. It's just
Oh,
the thing
okay.
that they did to gain confidence to fight the monster.
Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's fucking weird. Especially because they're all like fucking 12 or whatever.
I mean, you can't tell them they didn't get confidence.
Yeah, they went to go kill that monster with their now non-virgin dicks. It's weird. It's weird. It's a weird fucking book, man.
Oh. I wonder if people just skip over that part.
I don't know. It's such like you're like reading about them being in the cave, and then then it goes like, all right, what do we do? How do we bond together? And then like that's what happens, and it's like what? And I was like, okay, well now that we're like emotionally strong, let's go find it. It's like, fucking what?
I guess. I
Yeah,
don't
and it's
know.
like more like mind slave shit from the demon and stuff. This is a lot of stuff in that book. There's a lot of stuff in that book. You know what? That does make me think of something though. They remade Pet Cemetery for like the fourth time, right?
Hmm.
I do kind of wonder if like because Pet Cemetery was such a seminal movie for its time, and this movie Knives Out seems to be such a seminal movie for its time. If eventually someone's gonna say maybe we should do it again,
They
because
might.
I mean that feels weird because it's so good, and I always feel like some stuff that's like really really good should just kind of stay as is, you know, like we just talked about. Although interestingly enough, some people have been talking about maybe doing a sequel in a very different kind of tone, and I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that means. None of the actors have said anything, but yeah, that's a thing. By the way, for people who want to get the physical on it, it will be out in a few weeks. This is a really, really fucking good movie, so I feel like this is one of those times where I'm willing to buy a physical version of it.
I don't have a Blu-ray DVD player, so
Yeah, my PS3 is a Blu-ray player, so that's like, that's free.
the games and the movies.
You get the games and the movies. That's what happened to the PS2. Remember, it was basically
Yeah.
a DVD player.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing people did. Man, good times, good times, good movie, good times. Now I think we should go to food, 'cause I don't think I have anything else to say. Do you?
No, it's a good movie, but we already said that many times. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. How would you go with it?
sweet.
Is there romance in it?
Not romance, but the girl is really nice.
Okay. That's the thing though. Like I feel like it's because if you say sweet for the character, I feel like that diminishes every other time we use sweet specifically for romance.
So how would you go around saying first
Okay.
one's really nice?
So first things first. Good, right?
Good.
Really, really good.
Okay.
Okay. Second, do you feel there's a lot in here? I feel like there's a lot in here.
Yeah, it's
There's
three different movies, like you said.
right? Okay. So yeah, all right. So that makes it kind of like meat, right? May not
Or
necessarily
layered.
meat, but like
Something
in
layered.
there. Yeah, something really satiating. Okay. Step 2. Lots of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So lots of stuff going on in there. Okay? So,
I think it has
follow.
to be meat then.
Yeah. But I'm now trying to go with, all right, so say we're doing meat. Say we're doing lots of stuff in there. So is it that the meat is really heavy, or is it that there's a lot of different kinds of things going on in the meat as it is?
I wouldn't say it's a long movie.
It actually kind of is, but you don't feel it. That's the thing. It's because it's 130 minutes. That's 2 hours and 10 minutes, which is pretty long for movies. Usually like 90's the minimum, and then 120's where you start to get to like the bigger part of it. This is right over that.
So steak.
Is it? Is it though? Because like we've already used beef Wellington, and that's
Mhm.
fine. But I feel like it's more than just a steak because of the amount of people in it. Right? There's a lot of parts to it. You know what I'm saying?
So it could be a steak with something on the side, like gravy, mashed potato. I don't know.
Here's what I got.
What you got?
Beef bourguignon.
What's that?
All right, cool. Beef bourguignon is a French stew made of beef that also has red wine and has like carrots and onion and garlic and a bunch of garnishes to like really add flavor. Mushrooms, bacon, like it fucking goes in there.
Ah,
And though most people aren't like super sure the traditional way to make it because it's so fucking old, there is a preferable way that involves red wine, stock, onions, and mushrooms and carrots. But like when you see like really fancy beef bourguignon, you're like, fuck, that's a lot. There's a lot going on there. And it's not just that. You serve that with something else. So like mashed potatoes or something.
okay. So yeah, that's what I was trying to get
So yeah.
around. Yeah. All right, that works.
So yeah, check this shit out. I will send you a picture of a very fancy beef bourguignon. And like, tell me that it doesn't feel appropriate. Because you just look at it and you're like, that's a lot and it's so heavy, but it's so good.
Did I have this before?
I don't
It
know.
looks really good. I
It
definitely
is.
had some beef stew, but I'm not sure if it was this quality.
Not sure it was the French one, yeah. So that it? Got it?
Yep, that's it.
Beef bourguignon? Alright, cool.
With
I-
the sides.
Yeah,
Like
with
red
mashed
wine,
potatoes.
potatoes.
Yeah. Alright, everybody shut the fuck up. It's time for the news.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. There's some more important things going on in the world. Like what you got, for example. Go.
Alright, give me a second. I want to find the exact clip. No, I have something. I just don't know
Okay,
what it is.
no, cool, go.
This guy never takes off the mask. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. I'm just gonna send you this link. I know.
You go ahead. Go ahead.
So,
Whoa, what?
Evo Japan happened,
Yeah?
and the Blaze Blue Cross Tag champions, the top 8, they had this Annie YouTuber.
Okay.
So it's a guy that goes around and like the 3D models or whatever
Okay.
that go to like VR chat. Just
Okay.
goof around. And he also plays Blaze Blue and he's pretty good.
Okay.
So he just never takes off his Annie-tuber mask the whole
Oh,
tournament.
okay. Hey, just so you know, I didn't get the whole link. I got part of it.
That was the whole link.
It isn't because the entire HTTP and
Oh.
shit is missing.
Oh, oops.
Oh shit! Okay, I see this. I see it. Oh man, he's there at the award ceremony with his mask on, my dude. Alright, so
Yeah.
like you gonna take it? You gonna? No.
He doesn't have
okay.
holes, so
No. Yeah. He's like, I can't tell if you see what's going on. I love that the dude left him is cracking the fuck up. He's loving it.
he's like he never took it off.
It's like I admire this man. Look at his dedication to his craft. I mean, how else do you recognize him, right? You don't recognize his real face.
No,
Nobody knows his real face. They all know the little girl thing that he does.
this is literally just a guy
Sick, do it.
with the
Thanks,
mask
bro.
on. They're like, yeah, this is me.
I believe in you. Good job. I mean, you're there at the fucking winner award ceremony, so good job.
Also, the Smash champion or whatever.
Yeah?
I'm not sure if the winners get money anymore. Because
Okay.
Japan has some weird laws like no gambling.
That's Japan as a country.
So
That's
they
why
don't-
pachinko is a thing.
Yeah. So they gave them bags, like little Nintendo shop bags or whatever.
Okay.
And the maker Smash, I forgot his name, Sako or something. Sato. He gave him a pro controller.
Wait, you mean the guy who makes the game?
Yeah.
Masahiro Sakurai?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he was
Wait,
just there to
oh,
congratulate
I see
them.
the clip right here. He's got like a special controller with
Yeah, and
like
he
the
dropped-
Smash
he
emblem
dropped
on it. All right, I'm just looking at it. A controller. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh no. Oh, what a bad time. What a bad time. And now he's holding his trophy instead. Oh boy. All right. Shit. That's cool. There's a lot of anti-gambling laws in Japan, but I figured there was a way you could circle around it by calling it like a test of skill, because that's technically distinct from gambling.
I hope they got money, because I know it took a lot of work to do that.
Yeah, dude, you have to like fucking put so much time in and like fucking figure out your schedule to be there for how long, and compete against people who are like really in here. So yeah, that's nuts. Oof. Right, yeah, but Japan is this weekend.
So yeah.
What else is still coming up?
Combo Breaker.
No, I meant is Evo over? I thought it was at the end of the weekend.
I think it's over.
Oh, okay, because I thought it was
Smash is
just this
over,
weekend.
Soul Calibur's over, Street Fighter's over,
Oh,
Tekken's over,
Okay.
Blazer's over. I think it's over.
Okay. I thought it was the whole week. You know what? No, I'm stupid. It's been running since the 23rd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. I counted that wrong. Yeah, alright,
They're ahead
alright.
of us
Okay.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, and also everyone they have the new waifu in Samurai Showdown,
yeah.
Yurara or something. The maid
Okay.
girl.
Okay. What does she have?
I don't know, but they compared her to Mai.
Okay.
It was weird and gross. I don't talk about it.
That sounds like a fighting game stuff.
Yeah.
Not not shocked. That's why we shit on Mr. Wizard for core values.
Yep.
Because they're like, don't lie.
But there was no
Which
like DOA announcement or anything.
mm, 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 mm. There was a DOA announcement for more DLC though, and costumes and softening gel, but hey, let's not talk about that.
Softening gel.
Softening gel.
How's that work in a game?
You look it up and you find out yourself, motherfucker. I'm not doing it. But yeah, that's a thing. Oh, hey, actually, it's funny. I just realized something. So you said Smash was there, SF was there, Tekken, Blaze Blue, and did they do Sam Show?
Yeah, Sam Show.
Okay, how did that turn out? Did you see that?
No,
Cause
it's
like,
too slow.
cause like,
I don't.
Sam Show's super slow. That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, I feel like it's all Twitch. It's all first move. All right, that motherfucker's dead.
Yeah, I saw the
So,
clip of that.
so I'm like
Just knocks his
wondering.
sword out.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, it is like that, right? That's
Hmm.
what I've heard about it. I thought that'd be kind of weird to see, where it's like, cause you see two people go like, fuck, and then that's it, and then a man dies, and it's like you're going home, motherfucker. That's it.
Oh, they had a KOF. That's cool.
Yeah, KOF
Hmm.
14.
The newest one. I think it's
Okay.
13. No, 14.
No, it's 14.
Yeah.
13 was the one before. 13 was the 2D one. Yeah. All right,
Oh.
cool. My news thing is sad. But it also still felt kind of important. I guess mostly because I'm a music guy. So Sean Reiner was the drummer to Cynic, who and also the drummer to the band Aeon Spoke, that he formed with the guitarist from Cynic, Paul Masvidal. Also, after a while, like way later, like 2014, he left Cynic to join this prog rock band, Perfect Beings. The reason Cynic is so important because Cynic, and also the album that both he and Paul Masvidal recorded with Death, one of the first death metal bands to have existed, headed by Chuck Schuldiner. The album Human in 1991, and also Cynic's first album Focus in 1993, are considered the birth of technical death metal.
Okay.
And he's a really cool drummer. He's a lot of really cool lines. Like the Cynic albums that came out, the first one, Focus in '93, is really amazing. But Traced in the Air and Retraced and shit are like really good. Fucking Integral Birth, I think, is one of the most interesting songs I'd heard when I started listening to Tech Death, and it was like fucking insane. And the reason I bring this up is because not Paul Masvidal, Sean Reinhardt passed away 2 days ago.
Ah, how did he
And
pass away? That sucks.
they still haven't gotten into it. His husband and his sister made like a post about how like they were trying to give him CPR, but it was like a little too late. So, yeah. And Sean Reinhardt is a huge influence on a bunch of different drummers. Brian Dowler, the dude from Mastodon, Gene Hoglan, who would replace him for Death, Richard Christie, one of the original drummers of Death, Dirk Verburen, that's the guy who plays in Megadeth. The guy who I showed you the Dirk
Dirk
Blast.
Blast, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Chris Penny, the drummer to the Dillinger Escape Plan, who's like fucking amazing. George Callias, the drummer of Nile, Nile being like well known for their comically fast drum songs. And yeah, man, he's a really important drummer in like the history of tech death and death. Considered one of the people who created tech death, along with Paul Masvidal and Chuck Schuldiner, on the album Human and also on Focus. I mean, if you're into death metal, I'd really recommend listening to Cynic and Death, obviously. But I mean, if you like death metal, you know Death already. But yeah, Cynic is fucking amazing. Traced in the Air, Retraced, Carbon Based Anatomy. That's a really sick album. Like a fucking Box Up My Bones. It's intense. It's a fucking wild ass song. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Rest in
Rest-
peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Sean Reinhardt. You were a treasure and a credit to the craft. Well, in an attempt to try to not fucking be sad anymore, I'm fucking hype.
Get hype.
You have to be. He would have loved it if you had been hype about fucking his music. Like, do it, do it, do it, do it. Get hype. Okay, yeah. What are you hype about? Do it. Go.
Alright, I'm hyped about a few things, but I'll just keep it to one thing.
Okay, sure.
Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Oh yeah, Puyo Puyo Tetris. God, I love that game. I was playing that for a while. I haven't had enough time to, cause like it's only as much fun as you can play with other people. You know.
Oh, I'm
That.
playing the story mode. I'm having fun.
Ooh, how's that going?
It's like it's like a dumb
Yeah,
like they just threw in really random ideas like, oh, we need to help him calm down. The lab dog, whatever. Let's play Tetris.
that's because
And they
that's
have to
the
beat him at
answer.
Tetris.
The answer is Tetris.
Or no, the Puyos are taking over the station. It's gonna crash. Better
You
cut out the
gotta,
Puyos by playing Puyo Puyo.
yeah, you gotta clear it out using Puyo Pop Fever.
Yeah. Or we need
That's
to save. We need to find the pieces of the space station that crashed. We better listen to the ritual and play Puyo Puyo.
that's how it works.
Like they just really throw it in there, like a really long stretch, and just like, yeah, okay. And
Okay.
you just have to accept it.
Okay.
Or the two mascots that just say Goo Goo,
I mean,
and
yeah,
they must fight each other.
yeah.
And respected Tetris and Puyo Puyo crossover battle.
That's when you play the cross battle. Yeah, that's when you play Puyo Puyo Tetris
Yeah,
as opposed to Puyo Puyo or Tetris.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I never really played Puyo Puyo before, so
Oh, really?
I'm trying to learn how to play it.
How's it feel?
It's really
Ye-
hard.
Really? I find Puyo a lot easier than Tetris because you just have to make sure the colors line up.
I'm not good
W-
at. Like
oh,
I
okay.
make like the
Well,
3 layers, and then I try to get one on top of it. But
oh
then I have like another
no.
color.
Yeah, yeah, because then you'll get like
I'm
the
trying to
fucking
get the
yellow one
chains. Yeah,
that falls down and is like, well, that's fucked.
yeah, but yeah, I
Yeah,
don't get
yeah.
the other one. I'm like, oh wait, that didn't work.
Yeah,
So
no, I get what you're saying. That's because you got to build like little towers. You gotta build
yeah,
like a
I'm
little
trying to build the
castle.
little towers
You
or
gotta build a little
sandwiches or
castle of
whatever.
Puyos.
Like I'm trying so hard and I suck. I think that's where most of my hours went to. It's kind of sad.
Just trying to get used to building towers in Puyo.
I have like 7 hours right now, so I
That's
think
pretty
like 6 of
decent.
those we're just trying to get towers.
Okay, yeah, that is different. That is very different.
So I think Puyo's harder than Tetris.
I think that's because you have no experience with Puyo. I think
Yeah,
that's what that is. Like you played Tetris for how long? You
yeah,
know
since I was like a kid.
exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas I played Puyo more, and then I played Tetris later, and I was like, oh, okay, I think I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to like work through it, but it took a minute. I'll admit, because Puyo to me like just building little towers is super easy. But Tetris, it's like, okay, now you have to turn while you're moving down into the position, like the T-spins. Like that took a good minute for me to figure out how to do that.
Oh, I still don't know how to do that.
Oh, really?
I tried to do it. Like I could do it on other games, but not this game. Cause I think you have to do it at the right angle.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't
yeah.
just automatically fit into it.
It does not. It does
You
not.
have
You
to
gotta
turn the
get
right
it.
direction.
Gotta get it at the right spot to do the turn into the lock. Yeah.
So yeah. And then if
Oh,
you don't, you
that's
just fuck up. So I need to learn how to do that.
that's okay. Yeah, sure.
And I never really got good at that anyway. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's kind of mandatory when you get to higher levels of Tetris. Like when you get to start like level 40 and level 50,
yeah,
because
I
that
forgot
shit
to do that.
because that shit starts dropping instantly. There is no other way to succeed. You cannot survive without a fucking T-spin. It sucks. It sucks, but it's cool because it's demanding a lot from you. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's always to me the most fun part of games is figuring out how to get past that new hurdle. You know? Where you're just like,
Yeah,
ooh,
I
shit.
think it's
all right.
good for like all types of players. This game is
Yeah,
pretty underrated
yeah.
in my
It
opinion.
doesn't have to be like you don't have to take it super hard.
Mhm.
Mind you, I was playing with this girl once, and she was a block beast, and she said it like a very casual thing, like, "Oh, I'm kind of good at Tetris. I'm not great." And I'm like, "Okay, sure." And she's just beasting on me and styling, and I'm like, "You said you were kind of good at Tetris. He's a monster. He's a monster at Tetris. It's dope. That's dope. I like that." Ah man,
But
fun.
yeah, I think
Fun
it's
game.
good for everybody.
Yeah, you can play like by yourself. I find it's the most fun when you play with people, because then you get to see the other person react when you're dropping that shit on them.
Yeah, and
Like,
they're like,
oh, guess what?
fuck.
I was a 4 chain and 2 Tetrises, and there's like, blah, blah.
Or you do the crossover. And you let your
Yeah,
Play-Doh
yeah.
drop and all the blocks come in. So you get
Yeah.
to link it to the Tetris one.
That's some nasty shit. I love it. That's some nasty shit, and I love it.
But right now I'm just trying to get good at the game. I'm trying to get good at Puyo specifically.
Right, because you already have an idea of Tetris works. At this point, it would
Yeah.
just be finding Tetris skill.
Yeah.
Versus Puyo, fuck, man, I guess I'm starting from the top.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. So I was considering not doing a manga,
Uh
but I
huh.
really like manga. So
Okay.
that so that's a thing.
So
You
what
get
manga is it this time?
yeah.
Is it a harem?
No, not technically.
Is it
I
a
think
romance thing?
yes. Yes, it is. I'm saying it's not technically her because the other girl hasn't like made it clear she's in romantically invested yet, but it's clear to me. Okay. Hige wo soru, soshite joshikosei wo hiru. I shaved and then a high school girl came. This is sort of a rough translation of that.
Alright, I'm used to these titles by now, so it doesn't shock
I
me.
don't know if I've mentioned it, but this is the thing. So there's this guy. He's like in his mid-20s. His name's Yoshita. He's had a crush on a girl for a few years, and like he tells her how he feels. She says, "Yeah, I'm not interested," and he's like sad about it. So he goes home and he's drinking, and he's like, "Fuck it, whatever." And he's walking by and he sees this teenage girl, and the teenage girl's just sitting on the street in the fucking cold of the winter, and she goes like, "Hey, I'll let you fuck me if I stay at your house." And he goes, "What?" And yeah, so instead he like goes, "You know what? Not funny. Let's go." And he was like, "What?" And he was like, "Let's go." So they go to to go to his house, and she just starts living there with him. And she goes like, "All right, what do you want me to do?" He's like, "Don't worry about it." It's like, "But you gotta want me to. How about you clean up the house?" My house is pretty shitty. It's an apartment. I'm not around here too much. How about you do that? And she was like, "Okay." And yeah, that's sort of where it starts.
So it's just living with a homeless girl.
Yeah, and then the homeless girl develops a crush on him because he's been so very nice. And also, she makes it clear that this is not the first time she stayed at someone's house.
Oh.
And he goes like, "Oh, well, don't worry, I'm not gross. I'm not gonna do that." And yeah, she's not even from the city, so she like moved from the countryside to the city, and this is how she ended up. And yeah, he works as like a salaryman in a fucking regular old job, and he doesn't like it much, but he does what he does.
So the story's about learning about the homeless girl?
The story is about the homeless girl being in love with him and trying to get comfortable with that idea.
I thought she's gonna have like a whole backstory.
She does, but it's not. It hasn't been talked about because he says, and I quote, "It doesn't matter where you were before. All that matters is that you're okay now." Which is fair, because her entire thing is like, people took advantage of me sexually and stuff, and it's a whole troublesome thing, and she's very uncomfortable with it. And he's like, and like, is the person in his job is like, "Are you gonna sleep with the girl?" And he's like, "No." What? And she's like, "I mean, I don't know. It's just weird that you're like living with this girl and like what if you end up in love with her?" He's like, "I don't know. That's not where I'm at right now." So
So he just took her in just because she feels bad.
well, she's literally a homeless girl who was like, "Hey, I'll let you fuck me if I can stay at your house." Clearly her life has not been okay, if that's what she has to say. So yeah, that's pretty much all he gives a shit about, is like helping out the kid. And yeah, and then he keeps talking to people from his job. He like he has a bunch of stuff going on. That, and most recently it's like a woman at his job is like flirting with him and being real intent about like, "Okay, well, I gotta admit, I think it's weird that you're like hanging out with this girl, but I understand that you're like a good guy and gentleman, all that shit, so it's fine. I mean, I don't know. I kind of thought, is it weird that I wonder how you feel?" And he's like, I mean, I'm fine. I don't really give much of a shit." And mind you, she notices because at his job, he's suddenly more cleaned up and stuff. Like, your clothes smell better than usual. You do this, you do that, you do that. And it's like, yeah, well, I mean, look, I'm getting my shit together.
He has to do it for the homeless girl.
Yeah. She needs some kind of support. And yeah, so now there's like an older lady at his job. Mind you, the older lady at his job literally said like, it was something like, "Hey, are you a virgin?" He's like, "What? No." And she's like, does the idea of someone being a virgin bother you?" He's like, "I mean, not really." And she goes like, "Cool, because I'm a virgin." He's like, "Fucking what? Why are we talking about this? What?" So yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, he went on a date with the lady, and the homeless girl's just hanging out at his house, and it's pretty trippy.
What is
And
it called? Oh yeah, I shaved once, and then a girl.
I shaved, and then a high school girl came. So hige wo suru, soshite joshikosei wo hiro.
So wait,
like-
did he shave after?
Well, that's what he means. It's like he looks like shit, and he's like, bleh, and then the girl shows up, and he goes like, "All right, it's shaved." So now she's just here.
Okay.
That's the thing. It's like he was out to face the world because he's like, "Oh man, Shit's rough. By the way, I forgot to mention the girl who was like, "Hey, I'm into you," is and I'm a virgin or whatever, right? The older lady at his job is the one who turned him down.
Oh, they're doing
So
that.
it's like I don't know what's going on, man. I honestly I'm of the mind that no, don't fuck the teenage girl.
It sounds a lot like the one with the not the escort. What's it called? The rental girlfriend.
Ah, the difference here is mommy is spiteful and a monster. This woman just seems concerned for the situation of the teenage girl.
But I mean, like the whole like let down at first.
That's a lot of things, man. If you want to get into I got turned down by a girl, then she's interested in me. That's like eight things. That's probably more things, but eight that I can think of immediately.
Oh,
Like, yeah, that's just the thing.
is that common or something?
Is it a common plot device or is it a common real thing in
Is it a
the
common
real
real
world?
thing?
I
I don't
mean,
think so.
I don't know, but that's because I don't. When somebody turns me down, I don't really talk to them again. I think we went over this before, where I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, if I'm romantically interested in someone, I'm not comfortable being friends because I'm romantically interested in them, and that is an impure friendship, and that is wrong. So like, I don't know. Is that a thing? I don't know. It's not a thing I ever experienced. I'll tell you that much. If I like somebody, you know immediately, and if you're like not down with it, that's cool. Have a good time. Like I'm not resentful or bitchy about it or anything. Although I don't see the point in like, let's be pals when on the inside I'm like, then she'll love me. Like that seems fucked up. That's why I got on Milk Cow's case in that fucking movie because I was like, hey man, do you like her? Tell her.
Yeah.
Do
I'll
it.
just be pals and then she'll like me.
Yeah, exactly. Like, grow the fuck up. Not everyone has the time to play the waiting game.
Yeah.
It's not. That's not. That seems detrimental to both of you because like, first you'll be hung up on her, and then when she dates somebody, you're gonna be shitty because you're gonna be like, she should have liked me, and it's like, how would she have known any of that? How?
She's supposed to know.
Yeah. So that's how I look at it. Is like, oh hey, I like you. Oh, you're not interested? That's cool. All right, I guess I'll just go see if I want to talk to other people or whatever, or what I'm gonna do today, because that's been resolved now.
But maybe he's more like, oh, if I tell her I like her, and she doesn't know, my life will be over.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, dude, I don't fucking care. So this is what we live in a city of like 8-9 million people. One person doesn't like me. Cool. Whatevs. There's other people. There's literally other people.
But his life, I guess he doesn't know that.
I mean, they don't internalize it like that because to them, like every moment is a big moment because it's kind of melodramatic like that. Especially guys who like don't say shit, right? To them, like every moment is everything.
Hmm.
I think it's a pretty juvenile way to act, but again, that's like I don't know. Usually, those kind of people are like younger, because then like only when you're like 17 does the world seem that intense.
Yeah.
But like I'm like in my mid-20s now. I stopped giving a shit. It's whatever. And sometimes I'll be with somebody and just not be super invested romantically, and I will be upfront about that too, because that's unfair. It is unfair for me to be like real chill about it, and for them to think we're like gonna get married or whatever. That's fucked up. That's fucked up in the other direction. It's
Just
it is
cut
what it
off.
is. Yeah, just make it real clear. Like, hey, guess what? This ain't going nowhere. This is just where I'm at. And if you're not cool with that, I really do recommend talking to someone else. I could bail. It's cool. I don't mind. I don't mind just bailing. It's whatevs. Yeah. So that I don't know. Maybe it is a thing. Maybe it isn't a thing. Don't know. All I do know is that teenage girl is super into him, and the other younger lady's job is also into him, and now the older lady, the job that turned him down, is into him, and I'm like, fuck, where is this going? I'm all for team don't fuck the teenage girl, but shit, I don't know which other way it could go.
No, but do it.
No, but do it though. Yeah, that's a thing. Remember, gotta go hunt is a thing. No, but do it though.
Wait until I graduate. Wait
Yeah.
until I graduate.
That was good though. That's a solid fucking line. She's like, wait till I graduate. He's like, whoa, what? Damn. What do I even say to that? Damn. All right. So I guess that's it for this episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Fucking that's Manga Palette, and if you're still listening, you guys get it.
You guys get it.
Yeah, you get it. Bye.